What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, just another PokeTuber, coach of your Piedmont Triad Kickers, coming at you today with our draft analysis for Season 4 of the PBA, the Paldea Battle Academy, which, to my understanding, is the sister league of the PPL, or the sister league of the PPL NX, one of the two, or I guess both, I'm not sure, but it's the sister of something, and we're going to be playing a lot of really tough coaches, guys, okay? So this league, like any other league, has its rules, which consist of 115 points to draft 9 to 12 Pokemon. So if you have like a 9 point, like if you have like a 9-man team, probably a lot of top heavy mons. If you have like maybe even with 10 like mons, but you have like 11 or 12, you probably have like a good amount of like top heavy mixed in with some good lower tiered mons more than likely. We get 18 points to draft 1 to 3 Terra Captains. And this league is 9 weeks before you have playoffs. Just go ahead and be ready to see your boy for the next 12 weeks. Just be ready for it. This league is upload required, so I have a schedule now where I have to upload my MDL games on Thursdays. So the goal for PBA is to upload these battles on Fridays. And as I enter other leagues, I'm going to try to make some kind of schedule. Like for example, I'm starting BHDL again soon, so maybe those will be like Saturday uploads or Sunday uploads. It kind of depends because people in that league can be a little impatient when it comes to content, if I may say so myself. But anyway, you guys get the idea. We're gonna be doing PBA, MDL, BHDL, and we're also gonna be doing. Well, we're still in SDA, but that's going to be ending soon. So we're in 4 leagues right now, but soon we'll be in 3. Um, I'm probably going to try to do all my uploads like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I also have some stuff to catch up on. I'll probably upload those makeup games like on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, so like, random uploads. But yeah, you guys get the idea. PBA should be every Friday for me. It's not required. That's just the requirement I'm putting on myself. So in this draft, we had 18 coaches. Your boy was number 8 in the draft order, so kind of the worst spot to be in, if I may say so. But I feel like we still drafted a pretty good team, all things considered. So yeah, a lot of familiar faces here. Like I've been in leagues with Zachmander, Twisted, Destroyer, Goki Gamer. I think I did one league with Crepsicle. I've done a couple with Monkey. Same with Bope. I'm in a league right now with New Karotic. I've done leagues with Nova. I've done leagues with Mario fans. So yeah, I've seen a lot of these guys before, and then even the guys I haven't been in a league with, guys and gals, I've seen them around. So yeah, looking forward to a pretty exciting season. So the first round draft pick, this is probably not going to be a surprise to you guys. It was none other than Cinderace. So we spent 16 points to get the team mascot for the Piedmont Triad Kickers. A pretty threatening physical wall breaker, 116 attack with 119 speed. So not only does he hit hard, but most times he's going to be hitting first. And even with things that outspeed him, he does get priority, like with quick attack and sucker punch. So we have ways to, still move fast. Also pretty good utility options as well, with like court change, remove hazards, Will-O-Wisp to cripple the physical attackers, and then he has a pretty good offensive move pool. So Powerball, Flare Blitz, High Jump Kick, Gunk Shot, Iron Heads, and Headbutt. U-turn to pivot. We get, I've used Special Ace before, so like Shadow Ball, Scorching Sands, Weather Ball, Electro Ball. Electro Ball is just a goated move on this guy. But yeah, Cinderace has a pretty wide move pool, and because his ability is Libero, he also gets Blaze, but the main ability. So when you guys look at this ability part in the bottom left corner, it's gonna just be like, there's multiple abilities these mons can have, but I'm gonna primarily just be listing the main ability I see myself using. So Libero, because like, why not? This thing is basically a Terra Captain without being a Terra Captain, so he's the mascot. We're going to get the most out of him, as we always do. Next on the team roster is a mon who, if I'm being honest, for one, I don't like having questionable water types, so we need a good water type. And then also, I just wanted an excuse to use my shiny one. So for round 2, we decided to draft none other than the water fighting type Keldeo, who was pretty expensive, 13 points, justified as his ability. Not that it really matters. Doesn't really, you know, he doesn't really get to use it that much. But hey, so Ace is a really strong physical wall breaker. Keldeo is a really strong special wall breaker. 129 special attack with 108 speed. So he's going to be, outspeeding stuff and hitting them really hard with special attacks. And then his signature move, Secret Sword, is basically a fighting type version of Psyshock. So it's a special attack, but it does damage based on the physical defense of the Pokemon. So this thing, it's kind of hard to wall this thing unless you just have the defensive coverage to, like, the defensive typing to do so. And then he's also respectably bulky, 91 HP, 90 defense, 90 speed F. So you're probably not one-shotting this thing most of the time, and especially if he starts Calm Minding to set up. And then he also gets Trailblaze if I want to just outspeed stuff. So Keldeo is a pretty interesting mod. We used him back in season 3 of the BHDL. And if I'm not mistaken, he was actually my kill leader back then. So yeah, let's see what we can do with Keldeo this time around. Next on the team roster, we needed, I don't want to just keep drafting mods I've used before. So I thought, okay, let's try something we haven't used. What does the team need? So, we have a fire and a water type, so let's get a grass type. And, well, as you guys know, I don't like Cinderace being my only hazard remover. So, for our third round draft pick, we decided to pick up Serena, the queen. 120 attack, so this thing gets pretty hard. Has pretty good bulk too, 72 HP, 98 defense, 98 speed def, and it's, not the fastest thing in the world, but it's also not the slowest either. Queenly Majesty is the ability which we can use to shut down priority. This thing is like a little Swiss, she's like a little Swiss Army knife. We get U-turn for pivoting, rapid spin for hazard removal, we get synthesis to heal ourselves reliably. Trop Kick is her signature move, and whenever you hit something, it drops its physical attack stat. So if we're Trop Kicking things, we can reasonably use Serena to wall out physical attackers. She also gets access to knockoff, so that's not a good utility move it gets. So we can, knock things off and keep it pushing. Serena also gets cool coverage moves like high jump kick, triple axle, so those grass types are not safe, those steel types are not safe. And off of a 120 attack stat, yeah, this thing she hits respectably hard. Glad to have you aboard, Serena. Glad to have the queen aboard. Next on the team roster, okay, so we have our fire, water, grass. So I'm thinking, like, what could we do now? Maybe start our fairy dragon steel core. And I decided, I'm looking through the board. I saw this one Pokemon that I've had a lot of fun with, and I do mean a lot of fun. And I decided, oh, this thing can Terra? Let's pick it a Terra Captain. So for round 4, we picked up none other than Sylveon. So we have a Terra Sylveon on the team this season. It was 10 points to Terra. Without Terra, I think it was like 9 points or 8 points, but with Terra, it's 10 points because, there's a Terra cost for the mod you want to Terra. This thing is a pretty strong special wall breaker with 110 special attack. Also a pretty good special wall with 95 HP and 130 speed up. The defense is not that great, but nothing a Trop Kick and then a U-turn from Serena can't fix. We can, because Serena's slow enough that we could Trop Kick something and then U-turn, bring in Sylveon. Sylveon gets set up in the form of Calm Mind. We can start setting stuff up, and then it can also heal itself with like Draining Kiss. So Calm Mind, Draining Kiss can go crazy. Calm Mind, Moonblast can go crazy. And then we can also hit and then if something is like special defensive, this mod does get access to Psyshock, so we can just Calm Mind and then Psyshock, as long as it's not like a Muckalola or something. And then we do get priority with Quick Attack, which is boosted by Pixelate. Hyper Voice is also boosted by Pixelate. It's literally Sylveon's hardest hitting move. I nicknamed the Sylveon Atlas because that's the name of my dog in real life. Sylveon's a dog. My shiny Sylveon is a boy. So it all just kind of worked out, lined up in its own little way. And now Homie's the captain of the team, which I think is really cool. So yeah, that's Sylveon, here to be my special Terra Captain, special attacking, because I try to have like a special one and a physical attacking one if I can help it. Next on the team sheet, well, team roster, I wanted to pick up something that I just knew. Well, first of all, I knew if I did not get this mod now, it probably wasn't going to make it back to me, so I decided to pick up R2D2, the Bronzong. So this is my Steel Psychic type. Why this mon is 6 points, I don't know, but I'm not complaining. It's on my team. Um, so for one, I have Sylveon and Serena are respectively bulky, but just to help build out my bulk a little bit more, we got a bulky Steel type, like I told you guys. Fairy Dragon Steel Core, we're trying to fit that in. So we got R2D2 as our Steel type. 116 defenses, so depending on what side we want to invest into, you're probably not going to one-shot me in any shape or form. 67 HP ain't the best, but its defenses make up for it. Because of how its offensive stats are, you can kind of use whichever one you want to use. Albeit, it doesn't really matter because this thing does get Nightshade, so you can just Nightshade pretty much everything. It's not a normal type, and then get consistent damage because we are using level 100 rules, so it's 100 HP of damage every time I hit something with it. We get Psychic Noise to stop mons from healing themselves, so we can be annoying that way. Heavy Slam and Gyro Ball, we can use those in different ways. This mon also gets Trick Room, which could maybe be nice for like a Choice Spec Sylveon, for example. Too bad it can't teleport anymore, but if it could, that would be so freaking great. We also get Stealth Rock, we get double screen, so yeah, Bronzong can do a lot to support the team. And then it also helps that it's a Steel type that's immune to ground, and it's also bulky, so it helps Cinderace out, because obviously Serena can't be the only one switching into ground type moves. And yeah, that is Bronzong. Next on the team roster, I know you guys are probably thinking it's probably going to be my Dragon type. It's actually not, if I'm being honest. Next on the team roster is the one, the only Thundurus Therian. I was very surprised to still see this Pokemon right here. I've seen a handful of my friends draft it. In particular, one I think of the most is Scorpion. And I remember this thing was just going crazy when he had it. This thing can just come in, like you can just run Scarf and just Volt Switch all over the goddamn team until it's time to just clean up. Because even the freaking ground types aren't safe, because this thing does get Grass Knot. And if I want to like be cheeky and set like Rain with like Keldeo or something, right? If you can Weather Ball these freaking ground types as well. And then what's actually, now that I think about it, what's kind of crazy about Rain, this thing does get Thunder. I'm pretty sure if you don't resist Thunder, you probably get one-shotted by it no matter who you are, which is kind of crazy now that I think about it. But it does have 105 attack, so we can use that from time to time too. So if we're not like, like for example, we could use Volt Switch to pivot, knock off to remove items, and then just clap stuff with Thunderbolt or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So we can use that. Not the bulkiest thing in the world, but does it really matter when you can hit it? When you can hit that hard? It really doesn't matter, right? 101 speed, so it's not moving it's not always going to be moving first, but in situations where we can set it up to move first, yeah, this thing is just an incredible wall breaker. That's the only thing I really say about it. Next on, and it also gets a lot of coverage moves. I just want to point that out there. And it can also set it with Nasty Plot and Agility. So I'm just saying, this thing is crazy. Next on the team roster, we decided, you know what? Let me not tease the boys and girls. Let's get our Dragon for our Dragon Fairy Steel. So in the next round, we decided to pick up also our physical Terra Captain. It's the one, the only Flygon, or the Flygoner as some people would say. So he's our Dragon type, also our ground type. Levitate for the ability, so it helps Cinderace out. He's a ground type, so he resists rocks, so also helps Cinderace out. So as things stand, I have 3 Pokemon that resist rock. Keldeo, Bronzong, Flygon, so it really benefits Cinderace to have him here. He's also a physical, I mean, you can run special on Flygon, but for the most part, a physical setup sweeper with Dragon Dance, even Scale Shot, depending on the situation. 100 attack, 100 speed, we can make use of that. So we have good speed tiers, I feel like, also between Flygon, Keldeo, and Cinderace. And like I said, he can set up and sweep. Pretty cool move, pretty wide move pool, but to be honest, Earthquake is just so spammable most of the time that, bro, a lot of the time we can just, there's gonna be a lot of situations where we can just set up and then just click Earthquake. Literally just click Earthquake. And the things we can't Earthquake, hey, he has moves to hit it. He gets electric and he gets electric coverage and rock coverage and like fire coverage. So yeah, you can hit things that Earthquake wouldn't touch anyway. And then that dragon typing is just so good in general because I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, dragon is only resisted by steel and it's immune to fairy. But outside of that, you can hit literally everything else with it. So, yeah, pretty spammable stat. Like he has pretty spammable stats. What I'm trying to say. If we set him up, things can get crazy. So yeah, that is Flygon. Next on the team roster is another wall breaker, but it's also a pretty good tank as well. It's the one, the only Hoopa Unbound. Now, when I say it's a tank, I'm talking about like on the special side because it has 130 split F, and it's definitely a wall breaker. 160 attack and 170 a special attack, and it also has 80 speed. So you could reasonably throw a choice scarf on this or set some webs and let it come in and do its thing. Pretty wide move pool too, so you get this, you get the dark and psychic coverage because of its typing, but it also gets like electric coverage, ice coverage, poison coverage, fighting coverage. It can heal with Drain Punch. So, like, yeah, this thing gets a lot of stuff. And because of how high its attack stats are, even if you run negative natures with no investments, it still is going to probably one-shot stuff that if it can hit it super effectively, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, that is Hoopa. Not really the best on the physical defensive side, but we got friends for that, right? But yeah, that's Hoopa. Uh, don't really say too much. I think I said everything needs to be said. So for the remainder of the draft, we're mainly just drafting things like I felt like the team was missing. So at this point in time, I realized like, okay, we're missing a grounded poison type. I wanted to get Wheezing. That way, I would have another Levitator for Cinderace, but it didn't work out that well. So we went for the very next best thing. We couldn't get Wheezing, so we decided to get Mug. Now I'm not gonna lie. I did want to get Wheezing because of the physical bulk it has, but I know from experience that if you just run max defense on Muck, it can still function as good as Wheezing. Absolutely not, but it can still function. And even if I'm not running the max defense, a Spadef Muck is also pretty hard to kill on the Spadef side. 105 HP, 100 Spadef, pretty hard to kill. And it does have 105 attack, so it does hit decently hard. It has the ability Poison Point, which if you use it with Poison Jab, that's like a 60% chance to poison something. Then we get Drain Punch to heal ourselves, Shadow Sneak for priority. Yeah, Muck also gets like knockoff for utility. I know it gets toxic. I'm not sure if it gets T-Spice or not, but yeah, Muck can be pretty annoying if we allow it. I've used Muck Alola before, but I've never used Muck Kanto, so let's see what it provides for the team. Yeah, that's all I can say. Next on the team roster is a Mon that, if I'm being honest, I only drafted it because of its 90 speed tier. It's the one, the only Porygon Z. 135 special attack. I got it because of the speed tier. I didn't really want people being able to just creep me down to from Flygon to Hoopa. I did not want people to be able to do that. I know this thing hits respectably hard, so I know there's gonna be games where I can just bring it, and if my opponents try to it's kind of hard to switch into it because of analytics. So if you switch into it, it's just a free really strong attack, which is kind of obnoxious, but hey, it is what it is. Porygon Z gets coverage out the wazoo. Mainly here to be my base Animon. It kind of does the same things as like Hoopa and Thundurus a little bit, but at the same time, it can hit things in different ways than they can. And not only that, I don't care, they do just do the same thing. It's hard to switch into these mons in general, and can't no one tell me otherwise. So yeah, that is Porygon. Next on the team sheet, well, we needed a ghost type. And I knew I wanted to get webs on this team. And then I do have like ways to set hazards with like Bronzong, what's this guy's name? Flygon. So, a nice little hazard blocker. It's the one, the only Houndstone, also known as Winnie Zhang. If I didn't mention this already, because I kind of stopped naming the names, Thundurus is Kakashi, so you watch Naruto, you know who Kakashi is. I think I told you guys that the Bronzong is R2-D2. I think that's self-explanatory. Flygon does not have a name yet because my friend Pokemaster of 88's traded it to me, and I don't want to give him a nickname too soon and then have to get it back to him to change it. Keldeo and Hoopa can't have nicknames because they're event Pokemon. Mug is named Reiju. So if you've watched One Piece, you should know who Reiju is. Porygon Z doesn't have a nickname yet. I think I might name it Crash Out. I'm not sure. And then Winnie Zhang. Well, if you've watched Hotel Transylvania, you know who that is. So yeah, that's my. This is my Houndstone. I'm mainly here to be like a physical wall, but it has 97 SPDF, so it can function. Maybe not as a wall, but it can definitely come in on special attacks if you put the investment there. It can heal itself with Pain Split. Not the most reliable recovery, but hey, it's there. You can cripple physical attackers with Will-O-Wisp, and because of Fluffy, you're probably not going to one-shot me on the physical side anyway, so I'm going to have a chance to do that. And you can do consistent damage with Nightshade. I'm pretty sure this thing gets. I don't know if you get Shadow. I feel like you get Shadow Sneak, but you probably don't. So let me not get ahead of myself. But I know it definitely gets Nightshade for consistent damage. Yeah, that's Winnie Zhang, the Houndstone. Primarily here to be like a wall, but maybe we can do some other cheeky stuff with it here and there. Last on the team roster, as I alluded to, because I told you guys I wanted webs, is the one, the only Peter Parker, the Spite Ops. He is literally here to set webs and maybe get some other hazards up because he does get all the hazards. So he gets spikes, T spikes, and I want to say he gets. Actually, I don't think he gets rocks. I don't think he gets stealth rocks, but I do know he gets spikes and T spikes. So we could hazard stack with him in like Bronze Lung or something, and then Winnie could like hazard block, or I just run Terra Ghost on one of my Terra Captors. There's different ways to go about it. But yeah, that is Spot Ops. I'm not going to give y'all a whole expose because, like I said, he's literally just here to set webs. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah, that's Spot Ops. So, that's the whole team, guys. I think I've said everything that needed to be said in this picture. That is Soul, and then a future Piedmont Triad kicker. If I ever decide to evolve this reboot, I probably won't though. I'm gonna be honest with you, I probably won't, because I am using him in a different league right now, so it'll definitely be a while. But yeah, guys, this is the team. I think I've said everything that needs to be said. I'm looking forward to a really good season. I don't know what to expect because, like I said, it is a lot of really great coaches, but if nothing else, I'm definitely going to be able to test myself this season and just see how far we've come overall in draft. Because like I said, it's a lot of great coaches, and hopefully I can give you guys some great battles, some great results, and just look forward to your boy making to the playoffs. So without further ado, I don't want to hold you guys time up. So yeah, that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, please remember to like and subscribe. And until next time, which I should have a battle up for you guys on Friday, so 3 days from now, from the time that I posted this. And yeah, without further ado, guys, peace out.